What's up, everybody, and how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I have missed you so much. We've got a lot to talk about, which we will in this video. So, welcome to my channel. This is GabeLuvsMakeup, and I'm so glad to have you here. You know, come on in, pull yourself up a chair. Grab yourself a snack, a little drink, a little something, because today, guys, we are going to be going over a poll that I put up on Instagram as well here on YouTube. And I'm going to be using the products that you wanted to see me use the most over the course of the past 2 months of me not being on YouTube, which we will kind of get into a little bit later on in the video. I will discuss a little bit about that. I know you guys are coming here for makeup, so I'm not going to get too much into my personal life, but, we've taken a little bit of a hiatus. But over that time frame, I have really been using all of the new products. And there will be a video before this one, and that will be my biggest haul / monthly favorite / whatever you want to call it. Out of every product that I've used in the last 2 months. So if you want to go over there for a little bit more of a speed round, or you want to see that, it may be part 1 and part 2. I'm not really sure where it's going to go as for this part, but definitely go over there and check that out if you want to just see more of a speed review on things. But these are what you guys picked, what you were the most interested in, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So if you are ready and you really want to see what's been going on with me, and you want to see what your top picks were, then stick around and let's do it together. So before we get started, I just thought I'd sit here and stare at you guys just for a little bit. Hi, how are ya? It's just been a minute. We've got a lot to kind of discuss and stuff, but before we get into any discussions or whatever, we're here to talk about some makeup and some new releases, okay? Some things that you guys were interested in and wanted to play with. As you can see, I've already got my brows on, because you guys know, if you don't know, or if you do know, I don't have any brows. So the brows we do already, because we get that out of the way, because I just don't want to deal with that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring you just a little bit closer. That's better. That's much better. Now we're a little bit closer. We're more face to face. You guys can see me. Yes, I've got my Easter nails on. We're ready for spring. By the way, this will be a spring look too. Again, we'll get into it in a little bit, but yeah, this is going to be one of our spring looks too. Spring look number 2, spring look number 1 was the Nomad Cosmetics. As you know, it's been a hot minute, but we're going to be doing a spring look with these new things, some of the new things that we have. So first of all, let me get into, I wanted to do a little bit of mascara with you guys. Now, the mascara you guys chose for me, there was a couple of choices. There was Maybelline, Surreal, the Falsies, there was the Telescopic L'Oreal mascara. There were a few other ones that was chosen, and that will be in the other video that goes up before this one. But this is the mascara we're going to be using today. And before I did any eye makeup or anything, I wanted you guys to see the difference what this mascara can make. I also have this mascara in a waterproof formula as well, because it does smudge throughout the day, but I will say the waterproof does not, but now the original does. But we're going to be using the original because I'm going to be using a set of lashes today. But I wanted to show you guys how good this mascara is. We also have a new mirror. We have a Snow White mirror. I've always wanted one, so ColourPop did one, so we're doing, so I got me one of those. So this mascara is really unique. It has a paddle, and then there is little bristles on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with we're going to start with the paddle side, and it's going to push up. Now, I did curl my lashes a little bit, so we did curl them. So therefore, you don't have to curl them, because it will curl them on its own. Then I'm going to flip the brush side around, and we're going to comb through it with the more comb side. And I will tell you guys, this mascara is really pretty. It is a really pretty mascara. It's like I said, the only bad thing about it is that, throughout the day, for me, it smudges. But the waterproof does not. The waterproof, if you use the waterproof, it is not going nowhere. It will stay completely on you, and it's not going nowhere. And it looks just as good. But look at that already. Difference between the two. Without and then with. Look how good that looks. Look, it's good. And this is just like barely one coat. Now, I'm not going to go super crazy with it, but I just wanted you guys to see. I'm going to clean up behind it. We're going to do eyeshadow base and everything, but I wanted you guys to see what this mascara can do, because it is a really good one. I know that it had a viral moment. I know that there was some controversy about it. I did talk about this in my last video that I did before I took a little bit of a break. But it is a really super good mascara, and it does really make them look really lengthening, and it does make them look long. It does make them look thicker. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's like, it definitely makes them look a lot bigger. And I mean, I'm not double dipping it back into the wand. To me, it does work a little bit better if you just kind of let it dry out. And what I mean by that is don't keep sticking it back in the tube to get it wet. Just kind of let it dry out a little bit. And the more you kind of keep working with it, the bigger they get. Because the mascara dries down, and then it starts to create a better... Don't worry about if we make any more mess, but look how pretty that is. It almost makes you look like you have liner on. It looks so pretty. But again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to clean that up before we do any shadow eye makeup. But this is just what it looks like. See how pretty that is? It's a really beautiful mascara. It really is. It's really nice. So if you guys were curious about this mascara and you wanted to check it out and you want to pick it up, it's definitely worth a shot. It's about $14, I believe. I got this one at Ulta. Again, if you use the waterproof, you definitely have to use a duo-phase eye makeup remover, one that has oil in it, or you have to use a major melting balm. I would definitely go in with a waterproof eye makeup remover. I would not mess with a melting balm. It might take you forever to get it off because it does stay on, and once it dries, it stays on really, really good. But it is a really good mascara. It is worth it, evidently, or I went and picked up a waterproof version of it, so it is good. But anyway, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to finish doing this lash, and then we'll come back, and we're going to start doing some eyeshadow together. So the number one eyeshadow that you guys said on the poll that you wanted to see was the Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Hypnotizing Pop Shot, and then this is in the shade Ultraviolet. This is really beautiful packaging. I have not got to play with this a lot yet. I played with it a little bit, but not a lot. But I thought we would mix it in a little bit with the Chanel. This is the 957 Tendresse palette. We're going to make mixing that in a little bit, you know, with a little bit of a crease color and everything. You guys also wanted to see this as like highlighter, I believe. So we're going to use it as highlighter. We may even touch it up over top of the cream blush that we're going to be using. But I thought it would just kind of play it all alone together just so you guys can see what it looks like together. But this is what the product looks like alone. And you guys, this is just, look how beautiful that is. How pretty is that? Let me get a little, mix it in a little bit better. I grabbed a little bit too much. Look how pretty that is. That is so beautiful. And I just thought with like a peach tone, I thought it would be a really beautiful lilac-y type spring kind of a look. So I'm glad you guys got to pick this because I'm really interested in it, although I've got a lot of palettes that I wanted to play with too, but I'm glad you picked this, but we're just going to add a little bit to it to bring it to life a little bit more than just to do the one shot and done. And besides, I wanted to show you guys a little bit more with these Chanel shadows and kind of a little bit of my opinion and kind of like what I think about them. I'm just going to grab a Sigma brush. This is a detailed E27. I'm just going to grab a little bit of it, and we're just going to go into this really pretty pink shade, peachy shade here. And I'm just going to swirl a little bit of it in here. We're just going to go in here and just kind of really just lightly put it here in a crease. These shadows, guys, are really beautiful. Oh, by the way, I'm so stupid. I didn't even swatch them. Let me just go ahead and swatch them real quick for you guys so you can see. So you can kind of see it, what it looks like. But this is the pink we're going to be using. But this is the Chanel palette right here. The highlighter one is a little bit more, you can see it just a little bit. That's what we'll be using for highlighter. I'm a mess already. I just started, I'm already a mess. But look how, these really are really a beautiful muted tone palette. It's not really crazy. Like a lot of people would look at it and go, oh my God, it's got a lot of red in it. I did not pick up the darker palette. I only picked up the lighter one. I don't really know though if I've got it. I've tried it. I've used it as blush. I've used this as contour. I've used this as blush many times. It's a pretty palette. I mean, do I want to say, is this going to be something that you guys have to pick up, that it's something that you need? I mean, to me, it's more summer than it is spring. They're getting ready to release the LeBlanc collection, I think on Chanel.com. I was going to pick that up, the pastel one. That was the one I was looking forward to the most. I was so excited about it. The same thing with the blush. I'm no longer interested in it. Can you believe that? I know that they're getting ready to release it, and I'm just not even interested in it at all anymore. So I'm not going to even bother picking it up. I was real excited about the blush and the sticks, and I think the actual LeBlancs, they're going to be adding those to the line permanently anyway, which is what I was really interested. I love the multi sticks, which I actually have the multi blush. We'll be probably using a little bit of that today. The Rouge, I think it's the Rouge Ferris. We're going to be using a little bit of that today. It wasn't in the poll, but I'm going to add a little bit anyway because I love it. It is really nice. I do really like that. But this is really pretty. See, it's just really pretty. You can build it up and make it kind of like what you want to make it. We're just going to kind of, and we're just kind of like bringing it out a little bit more, just to smoke it in there a little bit. I really wanted a peach to kind of match with the lilac. Now, how this look is going to look, I don't know. But we're going to wait and see what happens with it. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. Like I said in the intro, I have really, really, really missed you. It's been a lot going on in life, which I'm going to try to talk about. I'm trying not to talk too much to you guys about my personal life. You know, I've realized that you guys really come on here to get away from your own crazy lives in the world and what's going on in the world and all the crazy stuff that's going on. And I mean, you know, and we're just here to play with makeup and just talk and have fun and just laugh and just have a good time. You know, it's like sometimes I don't try not to bring too much of things that are going on in my life because everybody has stuff going on in their life, you know, so I just don't want it to be like, oh, woe is me, poor me, woe is me. I'm just like having this and I'm this and you know, I can't do this and can't do that. And I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I do have those issues and problems just like everybody else. But at the same time, I'm still fortunate enough to do this. I'm still in ways, I'm still very, not privileged, but I'm just very blessed that I'm able to do this and be able to share things with you guys and come on here and have a good time with makeup and enjoy it and just play with color and not really care what people think. But at the same time, you know, it's like things do happen in life and it kind of sets this back a little bit because this is, unfortunately, it's not my number one priority. You know, I have a job, I have to worry about bills, I have to worry about, you know, my health, I have to worry about my mental stability, my anxiety, you know, because I work, you know, I do corporate, I do work corporate, I work for Lancome, I work for Dior. I've not worked for Dior very much because Dior is like a very part-time thing. I only work for them when I can. Lancome is really my full-time. And I mean, you know, when we work, you know, in a corporate world and, you know, we have stress, we have goals, we have things like that. I know that it looks like it's just makeup, but really it's not. It's all about, you know, numbers and how much you're selling and that kind of sort of thing. And it can be a lot sometimes. And I take a lot on myself. And so that kind of gives me anxiety. And then coming on here and discussing makeup more and doing more with makeup after I've worked with it all day long, you know, sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 days a week. You know, because I've been doing some weddings, I've been doing some events and things like that too. So I've just been very busy and it's just been very hard on top of everything else I've been going through and I've been dealing with some health issues. I actually have an appointment with my doctor I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but it'll be Monday. The results come back in for my test. She wants to go over all of that with me. So I don't know what is going on. So maybe they'll be able to tell me more, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of like what's been going on with me and kind of like why I've just kind of not been an incognito. And it's not because I don't love you guys and I don't want to be on here all the time. And I'm sure it does not help me. It's not helping my channel. It's not helping YouTube. It's not helping Instagram. It's not helping any of that stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to come on here and drag you guys down with my problems and what I'm doing and what's going on with me and one of these days, again, I've been saying this probably since the beginning of my channel. I'm going to come on here and really have a deep talk with you guys. And maybe one of these days when we finally have a live and we start talking more live, I'll be able to open it more. It's just hard for me to do it directly. I'm here without you guys facing me. If we were here, I would just tell you everything. I wouldn't really care. But it's a little bit more harder for me to think of it when I'm on here. And then also, I don't want to burden you with my issues and my problems when, your problems are just as bad as mine, or somebody else's could be just as bad as mine, or, I just try my best to stay away from it if I can. I want to try to be as upbeat and as positive for you guys as I possibly can. But anyway, this is what we're looking like. So far, so good. So now what I want to do is we want to go into this pop shot. So of course, I think the best way to probably put these on usually is just by applying it with your finger. So these are supposed to be like a one and done, and it's looking exactly the way I wanted it to. Isn't that pretty? Such a beautiful product. It's very buttery. It's got a very buttery finish. If you've not felt her pop shots, they do feel very buttery. They've got a very creamy feeling. They do kind of flake a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. They do get a little, you have to be careful not to get too much on your finger because they can get a little, like, not flaky, but they just get that, they ball up a little bit, so just be careful. But it is a really beautiful metallic. But see how pretty that is with that peach? It's just so pretty, and it's like a nice balance. So you're not all pink, and you're not all peach. So it just kind of blends in with it and makes it look like one. And it's just so beautiful. It's so flattering. And I love doing these kind of looks where you just blend in, cool tones in with warm tones. And it just makes it look so beautiful. And it gives it that really beautiful, like you get that pop of color, but you still get a little neutralness in it. That is just so beautiful. So I'm going to take just a little bit. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of my brush. And let me take a little bit more of that peach tone again. And we're just going to go back in and kind of blend that in with the pink. And then, of course, we're going to be doing some lashes that you guys chose. Because I have quite a few lashes that we're going to be, that I had choices from. I can't even talk. That I had choices from, to choose from. And I can't wait to use those too. But wow, isn't that pretty? That is just a really beautiful, stunning color too. And by the way, we don't have any primer or anything like that. We're going to wait and do all of that after this. I thought we would do the eyes first and just go and do that and get it over with. And then kind of go in and do the foundation and the primer and everything. But wow, it's so pretty. And before I just run into the liner portion, before we go into liner, I just want to remind you guys to thank you so much for all of your beautiful messages and comments. And if you've Instagrammed me, if you DM me, finding out what's going on with me, am I okay? I mean, all that kind of stuff. I really do appreciate it. You guys are really sweet. And I truly do love you for that. And I really do appreciate it and everything, checking up on me and everything, because it does make me feel really good. But with that said, we are going into, this is not a new eyeliner. This is just the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Mesmerizing Maroon. And it's the Duo one. And we're going to do a little bit of this side here. And I'm going to take it right here towards my lash line. And I'm just going to place it right here and just make it look, I want a little bit more of that. I'm going to bring a little bit more of that warmth back in. And these liners are fantastic. If you guys have not ever tried these liners by Charlotte Tilbury, they are really awesome. And I got a little glob there. Now, before that dries a little bit more, I'm going to go back into the Chanel palette a little bit more. Let's take a little bit of this peachy shade, and I'm just going to go back over here and just blend that in. And then when we clean up underneath, I will just go back over it and kind of clean it up a little bit. Because I know some people, they like to wait and do their eyeliner after. I like to kind of do it before sometimes. This go around, I wanted it to do it before we do concealer and everything, because I'm going to clean it up a lot more than that. But look how pretty that is. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful, soft kind of look. It's not anything too over the top. And again, you can definitely do just the pop shot if you want to just do it all over, because that's what they're made for. They're made to just put them all over. Just do one shot and you're done. But, I wanted to blend it in with a little bit more color just to see how pretty that looks. And then let Let me do just a little. Let's try a little bit of my Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is, let's see what brush, A505. I'm going to take, oh, wrong one. Go back into Charlotte Tilbury again. I'm going to go back into her. A little bit more back into this again. I'm going to take this packing brush. And let me, you know what? Let's wet it. Let's see what she does wet. Let's see what happens wet. Let's see if it works wet. Now, I've not tried any of these other colors, by the way, guys. So definitely, I mean, this is the first one I've ever tried. I've not tried the others, but it looks stunning. I mean, it's just a really beautiful. I'm sure the other ones, I've played with them before in the store, and they are really beautiful. They are, the blue is gorgeous. If you ever get a hold of the blue is really pretty. This one is sold out though. So just a FYI, most all of them are sold out. I don't know why I'm using this little Barbie mirror, but I am. Just a little bit. I think it goes on a little bit more intense wet. Just a little bit more. I do like it. I've got 3 sets of these Rissa Does Makeup lashes by BK Beauty. Rissa is, I'm sorry, I would say her name wrong. I think she pronounces it more Risa. I'll probably say it wrong. I do the southern version. Rissa, May! I do the southern version. So Risa, you know, is just a doll, and she's a wonderful, and I will leave her channel link down below. If you guys want to go over and check her out, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's stunning. She did a beautiful collection with BK Beauty on these beautiful lashes, because she's always using lashes a lot of times. And I mean, she does a lot of different looks, but she wanted to create something very soft and very natural, but she has like different pairs. I think there's 4 different pairs altogether. I have 3 pairs. I don't have the, there's inserts on the ones that just go in the outer corner. Those are the ones that I didn't get. I forgot the name of them, but this is the one that you guys chose, was the ones Day Club. I did trim them. So basically they do come in these really cool boxes, but I did trim them already a little bit in the inner corner, just a little bit, but this is what they look like. They're really, really beautiful. Oh, I dropped them out. So what I'm gonna do is, I cannot do lashes on camera. I cannot. It's just like, it just is not to me. So I'm just gonna go off camera real quick, and I'm just gonna do them, and then we will come back, and then you guys can see what they look like on. Okay, guys, so we are back. So the eyes are finished. We have the lashes on. They were the easiest lashes I've ever put on before. They were so super simple to put on. I've never seen a pair of lashes that easy to put on. It's literally, all I did was just barely put a little glue on them and just stuck them, and boom, they just went right on. Really beautiful. I did add a little bit more of the mascara underneath and a little bit just on them, just to give them a little bit more like depth to them. But look how pretty they are. They're really pretty. They feel extremely light. So I can see where she really worked hard to make them feel like they weren't like lashes. Doesn't make any sense, because usually when you put fake lashes on, you can feel them. And sometimes they're very uncomfortable, and sometimes they're kind of itchy. This does not feel like that at all. They feel extremely comfortable. So what I did was also, I just did a little bit of that mascara again, like I said, on the bottom. I did a little bit of this. I bought some LA Girl pencils. These are really good. This is the Ultimate Intense Auto Liner, and this one is in the color Super Bright. So I did it right in here in my water rim to brighten it up a little bit. And then I took the Pastel Dream one, and I have this one in the baby pink, and I also have it in the baby blue. And I took it over top of this one just to calm it down just a little bit. But look how pretty that is. It's so really beautiful. It does brighten it up a little bit. It gives a really beautiful look to it. So, you know, I'm liking this look. I'm thinking it's looking really pretty so far. I did take a little bit of the Chanel, this lighter peach shade here. I did a little bit around up underneath my brow just to soften it out a little bit, because we wanted to keep it kind of soft. But yeah, I'm really liking this. It's really beautiful, really pretty. So yeah, so we're all good with that. We're done with that. So, and also just before I dry, I've had a little bit of this. I've been using this Yummy Gloss by CoverGirl. It's called the Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss, and this one is in the shade My Straw Booty is what it's called, and it is so good. These feel so delicious, and they smell amazing. It smells just like strawberries. Reminds me a little bit of lip smackers, a little bit of that smell to them. but it's almost like a lip oil hybrid with like a lip gloss and everything. It feels very comfortable on the lips. It feels really good. So if you guys have heard about these are $7 at Walmart. So good. I will leave that link down below because it is just really good. If you guys want to go over to Walmart and pick you up 1 or 2 of them, they're really great. If you don't have the budget to buy some of the, like the Dior ones or some of those, this is a really good lip gloss oil type product. This really feels amazing, and they don't feel heavy or anything, and it feels very hydrating, and it actually lasts all day too, so they stay. So when they go on, when you put it on, it stays, so it doesn't go away. It doesn't dissolve into the lips like some do. So anyway, this is really good. So yeah, so now we're ready to go into primer. So I haven't even done a little bit of my sunscreen. I want to do a little bit of my sunscreen with you guys. This is the Shiseido Future Solution LX SPF 50. You guys did not pick this out. I did not put this in the poll, but I did want to show you guys just what it kind of looks like. It is a SPF, like I said, it's the SPF 50. It's got a, I forgot, it's an oxalate 5%, an octocrylene 7%, and a zinc oxide 15.4%. It is a really good sunscreen. So if you're looking for a really good doable sunscreen, you may really enjoy this one. It is really good. Hopefully I don't take off my brows while I do it. But it is very hydrating. So if you've got dry skin, it actually gives a little bit of a glow. It is, of course, you know, you can tell that it's sunscreen and you can see that it's kind of white, but it will blend into your skin tone after a while. I thought we would do this before primer, because this is typically what I've been doing at the end of my skincare routine, and I've been putting it on, and I absolutely love it. It feels really good. It doesn't have anything, it just smells like sunscreen. I mean, it doesn't have like a smell, like a fragrance or anything. It just smells like sunscreen. Okay, now that I'm like 3 shades of white now. Because it does make you look really white, but eventually it will go into the skin a little bit more. But it, of course, then we are on film too, and I'm in these bright lights, so it's going to definitely make me look a little bit lighter. So even when we paint on the foundation, but the foundation will liven it up some. But anyway, but this is what it kind of looks like, how pretty. I pushed my hair back a little bit. It was getting in my nerves. It was a little bit down on my head, and I couldn't stand it. I was like, okay, you know, it's getting on my nerves. I'll push it back down maybe a little bit later, but I just had to push it back till we get done with the makeup, because, you know, when you have light hair, it's just going to be, it's going to be a hot mess. So anyway, you guys were, the primers that you guys picked were the Dior primers. So we have the Forever Velvet Primer, and then we have the Forever Glow Primer. So both of these are really good. I will say, if you are a, forgot to put my lid back on my sunscreen. If you guys are into matte primers, the Velvet is definitely one of those. I will show you right now. I'm going to do a little bit down my center. I cannot wear this all over my face because it is way too matte, but they do have a smell, so they do smell just like the Dior skincare. They have a really, really smooth, what's the word I want to say, like the floral extract. You can smell the wild, the pansy extract or the iris. I forgot which one is in this one. I can't remember, but I'm gonna put it right here and then the center and just press it into the skin right there. Look at that. And you know, I usually, you know how shiny I usually am, how that mattified down, or I mean, I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it really mattified. Now, I don't know about blurring, because I've never really paid attention to the blurring part. It definitely does blur. It blurs a little bit. It does blur a little bit, but if you are dry, I don't know if I recommend this one unless you just like super blurring matte kind of primers. I wouldn't recommend this one for you. If you're oily though, this will be probably something you will really enjoy, or if you're combination skin. We're going to be doing what I love to do. I do love to do 2 primers, where I do one a little bit in the center and then I do one on the outer skirt for a little bit more glow or a little bit more hydration. So this is the Glow Veil, and I'm going to take a little bit of it. Now this one I love. If you can tell already, look how much I've used of it already. I love it. I use it almost like every day, and it is really awesome. So I'm gonna take a little bit right around here. Now for me, you know, I love glow, so even in the center, sometimes I like it, but I just was doing a little bit of that just to show you guys what it looks like. Because it looks really beautiful with this next product we're going to be putting on in just a minute, but it looks really pretty. It feels, again, just like the other. It has a little bit of the floral smell to it. It's the 96% ingredient listing. It's their natural ingredient listing. It feels really good. It kind of doesn't really give a blur, but it gives, you can see it does give a really beautiful glow to the skin. Let me kind of turn this down just a little bit so you guys can see the glow. You can see the glow. Now, I know some of the sunscreen did that too a little bit, but it is just it's a beautiful product. It's a really pretty product. If you guys are looking for a new primer, I know they are selling them now at Ulta. Dior sold at Ulta now. At Sephora, I think they have both of them, and then the stores have finally picked it up, and it's, of course, it's also on Dior.com. But they're both really good. They're both worth it if you are wanting to splurge a little bit on a primer. As a matter of fact, I think this is the only primer that I bought in the last 2 months because there's really not been a lot of primers that have been released. So there's not been a lot for me to really try. These are the two, and this is the one that I've been using on a daily basis. The Velvet I use once in a while. I don't use it a lot, but now that spring and summer is coming, I may use it a little bit more. If I get a little bit more in the T-zone, or if I get a little with humidity and everything, it may be really great with that. But yeah, it feels really good. Both of them work really beautifully too alone. If you don't want to wear it with makeup, it works really great with that too. So now we are up to the foundation category, and you guys, out of all of the foundations, and when I say all, there's a lot of foundations, a lot of concealers. This is the one you guys picked. You guys picked the Dior Forever Natural, the Nude. So Dior has this foundation that is not sold at Sephora. It's not sold, it's only sold on Dior.com. It came out, I think it was about 1.5 years ago. This is the original bottle. This is the Natural Nude Forever. I have this one in the shade 4N. I did pick this up at Ulta. They carry it at Ulta now. So now Ulta is exclusively carrying this. This is one of the exclusive where Sephora has Dior Backstage. They're going to have the nude here. So this is the nude packaging. You can see the difference between it. It's the natural nude and the Forever. It's, to be honest with you guys, there's not a lot of difference between them. They both still they still kind of smell the same. This may have a little bit more floral in it now that it's 96% natural. I think it's 96 or 98% more natural now. The packaging's changed a little bit. It's not much. I mean, it still kind of looks the same. It's a really beautiful foundation. This one is a really good foundation. It's more for a normal combination, maybe normal to dry. It's got a little bit more radiance in it than I think Skin Glow. Skin Glow I do not like. I do not care for Skin Glow, the Dior Skin Glow. I prefer the Dior Forever Matte better, actually, but this one is really beautiful. I picked this up in shade 4W. The 4N I felt like was a little gray last time, and it's a little hard to find shades in this one. This one only has, I think it's like 25 shades or something like that. We're not going to go into full detail about it because it's not really a new foundation. It's just one that they reformulated, and now Ulta is carrying it. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to go in and just with my Beauty Blender. Beauty Blender is what I prefer to put it on with. It is my favorite preference for this particular product, but now you can definitely use it with a brush. It does go on beautifully with a brush, but see how pretty it is? It's very like, I don't know, skin-like, I guess. It's more skin-likey than the other ones. Likey, listen at me, skin-likey. But it's got more of it's just got more of that skin look to it, where the Skin Glow it's not flat, but it looks really beautiful on other people. It's just not really good on me. This one I love. It's really pretty. It does last, I would say, a good maybe 10 hours. I'd say maybe you might be able to get maybe 12 hours out of it. It's not a super long wear makeup, but it stays on really good for, a normal makeup. It's not anything over the top. But again, it does have that really floral smell to it, like Dior and Grwm, which, by the way, the new Grwm is really good. The new terracotta. I talked about it in my video previously before this one. And it's actually a really good makeup, but it actually doesn't have a smell, which I was shocked because usually Grwm is usually covered and usually a lot of smell to it. But see how pretty? It's a really pretty foundation. Because now that I'm getting darker, it's like, because as the summer goes, I get darker. It's just, I didn't like the N as much. The N just looked a little bit more, it just has a little bit more, I'll show you. The N is a little bit more, it's definitely more of that neutral shade-ish, where this one is definitely more, see, I don't know what it is about it. I'm just not crazy about it. The warm, to me, I wish they had like a warm warm peach in this one, or maybe a for cool or something in this one too. But it's fine. I mean, you know, I will work with it and really use it. Definitely be careful though with packaging, because in Ulta, when I did pick it up, I do want to let you guys know that when I picked this up in Ulta, that the they had the older formula there still. So just keep that in mind. This is the old formula. The new formula is across the top. The old formula is on the side. So just make sure that if you want to try the new formula, that you're definitely looking at the packaging and you're checking it out. I did keep the boxes. I'm not showing you guys the boxes. I'm trying to just skip all that and just kind of jump to the good stuff and not get too into it, because I don't want to bore you guys to death with too much detail. This is another product that I absolutely love, and I just love it. It's just so good. This is the, I swear, if you guys have never tried this, you definitely is something, even if you have dry skin, because if you use an oil as a primer or just a really good glowy primer underneath it, this Maybelline Super Stay, a 24-hour powder, oh my God, it is so freaking beautiful. This is awesome. And if I can find my brush that I absolutely love. Okay, so I am addicted to this brush. Can I tell you, I'm addicted to this Laura Mercier brush. And it is, there's not even, it's just called the Glow Powder Brush. It's kind of got that kind of a feel to it. I've showed this before here on my channel, but this is the only brush I've been using for the last month or so. This is the only one. I've been using it for everything, for powder, highlighter, bronzer, blush, anything like that. I've been using it for everything, but I just take a little bit of this powder and I just go over just a little to give a little bit more coverage. Now, I love makeup by itself. I love this makeup with the sponge. I love this makeup with the puff. I love this makeup, period. This makeup is just really, this powder foundation is just so pretty. And they've got it, and I think it's like 14 shades, and it's $10 at Walmart. It did go viral on TikTok. If you do pick it up, make sure you do not buy it off of Amazon, because Amazon wants like $40 for one of them. It's insane. It's crazy. Now, it's supposed to be kind of like a light mattish type look to it, but it's got like a little bit of a glow to it. It also has a, you know, has a puff up underneath it. I don't use the puff much. I will say I love the L'Oreal Infallible powder makeup. Is my favorite powder makeup. This one has taken its place. I've used this every single day, probably for the last, I don't know if I'm going to say 2 months, but it's been close to about a month and a half. I've just been so addicted to it. It's just so beautiful. Look at the, it just gives it just a beautiful, I don't use, I mean, I don't go straight in and do this. Now, if I'm doing it just as a powder makeup, I'll use it with my little beauty blender here, or my little puff. I will use it with that and just kind of blend it in with my Tati Blendiful. I know Huda has things like now, and you can buy these kind of like separate now, like to put around here. The Tati ones are just my favorite because I have a bunch of these and I just love them. But anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is concealer. And you guys, out of all of the concealers that I got and that I've tried over the last couple months, the Prism Libre by Givenchy is the one that you guys chose, that you wanted to see, which I was really shocked. I was like, okay, well, you guys want to see that one over some of the other ones. I'm gonna take a little bit here, a little bit here. This concealer is really good, guys. So if you are looking at all the concealers and not knowing which one that you want to try, it reminds me a little bit of the new Dior. It reminds me a little bit because Givenchy and Dior are both owned by Louis Vuitton, and it's, you know, they're both in the same company. But it is a really beautiful foundation, or a concealer, sorry, foundation. It does go on really smoothly. It does give like a really beautiful blurring effect to the under eye. I got mine in the shade, this is 305 Cool. It is really pretty. It does make it look really smooth, as you can see, and it does kind of give this really pretty glow to it, and it gives you like a good medium, I would say about a good medium. I wouldn't say full, but it gives a good medium, high medium coverage. As you can see, it blends in like a dream. It's really beautiful. I've got a lot of choices that I like out of all the new concealers. There's been so many really beautiful, good concealers. But you can see, look how pretty that is. It just immediately just blurs. It looks really good. It's a really good concealer. I'm going to take just a little bit right there A little bit more right there. And it's good. It just blends right into the skin. It's also great on just on the face. If you want to use it on the face. And the doe foot, by the way, is really big. It's a really big doe foot. So you got like a nice doe foot to it. It's a lot of product in here too. I think it's like it's a 0.37 full ounce. I mean, it seems like it's got a lot of product in it. But you know what? I want to brighten just a tad. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline, the eraser. This is the Age Rewind eraser, and I'm going to go in with the pink shade. This is the one that went viral on TikTok. This is 160. They have a new one that's called 95, I believe, and it's a little bit more pink than this. It's a very fair shade. But I'm just going to go in here and just brighten this up just a tad, because I really like doing this lately. I just kind of, I do like adding that little bit of pink for brightness right there. And believe it or not, I think a lot of people can use the shade, believe it or not. I mean, when you look at it, it looks really fair. But you just use it in like the littlest amount and just in little places. If you want just a little bit of like, you know, brightening. And so I'm just gonna add a little bit more there just to show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys one of these days, I'll show you my routine that I've been wearing to work a lot. This is kind of similar to it, but I've just been doing it a little differently. But yeah, this is kind of similar to what it's like. But I'm going to show you what I do, because there's this new 1 or 2 products that I love that I've been using a lot that I'm going to show you guys. Got to make sure skin looks so pretty. But look how good it looks. It looks good. It looks good so far. So now I'm going to use another new product. Again, this was not on the poll, but I want you guys to see it. This is the Downright Dewy Mist by Scott Barnes. And it is really beautiful. It smells really good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Huda Beauty, the coconut one that she had that she discontinued. But I'm going to go in here and spray with a little bit of it. It does leave a really beautiful dewy finish. It's got a really beautiful mister. If you guys can see the mister, it's so pretty. I can't remember how much it was exactly. But it's not cheap. It's not a cheaper one, but I mean, but it is a really good one. And if you like a really radiant, as far as a radiant kind of a mister, it is really nice. So we're gonna set all that down. Next thing we're gonna do is set our face a little bit with some powder. And normally I don't do a lot of powder, even though I did a little bit of the Maybelline. To me, it's not really, I mean, it's more like adding a little bit more foundation to it. It's not really like adding powder. Because I just think it makes it look so pretty, it makes it look so smooth. But you guys wanted to see the Dior cushion powder. This is in the Mitza collection. This is the rose shade. They are not carrying this anymore. I did look online and tried to find it for you guys. They sold out of it, I think, and they are not, I don't know if they're bringing it back, but I did see that they do have a rose shade in this. They have, or it's called a lavender shade. In the original cushion powder, they're not with the actual limited edition on it, but you can buy it if you want to. I think it's basically the same thing, but this is what it looks like, kind of like that. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be a little bit of like a pinky kind of a powder. It doesn't have a lot of pink in it. It has a little bit, but it doesn't have a lot. But I'm gonna take a little bit of my Tati in it. I would try to show you guys, but it's so like sheer, like you can see a little bit of the pink on it. And we're just going to take a little bit of it and go right in here and just press that. Now, I have been doing this, and it does not settle in lines or wrinkles, or it does not make you look dry at all. It makes your skin look really beautiful. It just gives a really smoothing effect. I think it has a little bit of a smell to it. I never can smell it. I mean, I'm too used to Dior. It doesn't bother, and none of Dior bothers me. But see how pretty that looks? It just looks really bright. And you know, now with all this matte trend coming back and all these matte trends coming in, and you would never think that I would be into matte, but I've been trying some matte stuff lately. So I've really been kind of enjoying it. The mattes are different now than the way that they used to be. But yeah, I really enjoy this powder. I've been using it a lot. It's definitely been the only loose powder that I've been using in the last, I would say within the last month or so. It is really beautiful. And by the way, if you guys are interested in what I have on my brows, it is definitely the Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Brow Cheat. I love this. I use it all the time. It's my favorite. So that's what I use. I ran out of it and I was about to have a heart attack because I'm kind of a creature of habit with brows. I don't really change around my brows a lot, but I really love it. It's just a really beautiful brow pencil. But yeah, so here we are so far. So what are you guys thinking? What are you thinking? So before we go into anything else, I think, you know, I want to go ahead and do lips. I think I want to do lips before we do cheeks. I think I'm going to go in with just a little bit because we're going to be using another product. I did not, on the poll, there was not a lip liner, but I'm just going to use a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury, my Pillow Talk. I'm just going to use a little bit of that because I think it would go great with this particular product. So this is the, you guys wanted to know about the Lip Glow Color Reviver. This is in the shade Strawberry. So Dior, they came out with dimensional colors in the Color Reviver and the Lip Maximizers. But only on Dior.com can you pick up this color. It's not available at Ulta. It's not available at Sephora. It's only not available in stores. It's only available on Dior.com. It was actually based off of a Korean pop star, and her name is Jisoo. She's with Blackpink. If I'm not mistaken, she wanted a color that would look really, she wanted that kind of a strawberry-ish kind of looking color, and so they made this color exclusively for her. So this is a limited edition shade. It's only on Dior.com. But this is what the shade looks like. So it looks just like this, and I'll show you on the back of my hand. It's like a really pretty, you know, because these are like balmy. They're not really super pigmented, but it's really pretty. See, it's a really pretty color. It's like almost a really pretty berry-ish kind of pink. If you guys are interested in when we pick this up, it's really cool. Again, I'll try to have the links down below in my box if you guys are interested in picking anything up. But it is really pretty. It's nice. I think I did pick out, I think I'm just going to do a little bit of my, let me do just a little bit of my CoverGirl cloth. All right. Get a little of a glossy look. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, God, these smells so good. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that a lot. And once we get the bronzer and stuff on it, it'll look really nice. So, we're almost there, guys. We're in the home stretch. We're almost there. We don't have a lot more to go to. So with that said, normally we would have done cream blush before we did powder, but I've been doing this over top of it and it's been working really well. But before we go into cream blush, let's do bronzer, and you guys picked the Haus Labs bronzer. This is not a new product. This was one of the very first bronzers that Lady Gaga came out with when she introduced her Haus Labs in Sephora last year. I think it was last year. I can't remember. I did not pick up the bronzers when they came out, so I wanted to try it. So I picked this up in the shade 8. I wanted something with a little bit more of almost like a contour look to it. I didn't want it to be too bronzy because I have plenty of those. So I wanted something with a little more of a contour edge to it. So I picked up this shade instead. So I'm going to go in with my Glow powder brush. We're going to tap into this a little bit, and I'm going to kind of go in here and build this up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit of the color. It's really pretty. When I first tried it, I wasn't really impressed with it. I was kind of like, nah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's not the best in the world. But then the more I use it, the more I kind of like it. So it's really beautiful. They are very natural. They're like very natural bronzers. They're not super heavy. They don't look powdery. They almost go on like a cream. So this almost has like a creamy feel to it. The same thing with the blushes. The blushes are the same way. Because I did pick up the blush too when the blushes came out. I did pick up one of the shades in that. And it is really, see, it's very buttery. It goes right into the skin. It's not too much or anything. It just gives a really pretty warmth to the skin. It's really nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I have really been kind of like enjoying it. They're really beautiful. Well, there we go. We have that on. So now we are ready for the cream blush that you guys picked out. And there was a couple cream blushes that I picked out, that you guys picked out, that you were interested in, but the one that won, it was almost a tie between, excuse me, it was almost a tie between this one and the Charlotte Tilbury. And the one you guys picked was the, this is the Danessa Myrex Beauty. It's the Yummy Skin. And I have this one in the shade Golden Hour. These are stunning. They are really, really pretty. You guys will have to check out my video before this one on the Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, they're okay. The matte blushes. Again, do you need them? I mean, I guess it's pretty, but they're just like $44 to $45 for a little tube of something. I mean, if you're going to get a really cream blush, I would recommend these more. Look at that pigment. You can use this for lips, cheeks, eyes, anywhere you want to put it, really. I mean, it was just really beautiful. So, and typically, see, look how you don't even have to do a lot, and you can just blend it with your fingertip. You don't even have to go in with the brush if you don't want to. And I'm doing this over powder too, guys. So it does dry to like a powdery finish. So it does have that little bit of that powdery finish. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a fleshy cheek here, and a little bit on my nose, and a little bit here, and just kind of blend it in. But look how pretty that is. It's really, it gives you that really, this color gives you that really pretty, fleshy, burnt kind of skin look to the skin. And it's really nice, and you can build it up, and you can definitely put it on more heavier if you want. You can build it a little bit better than the Rare Beauty blushes, which go on really pigmented. But this one's really pigmented too, but you can just kind of build it up a little bit. But see how pretty that is? It's really pretty. It just gives like a really pretty like flesh to the skin, but it looks really nice. And it blends in really great with the bronzer. It looks very natural. And you can also go back over it with the Beauty Blender if you want, and just kind of blend that in a little bit more. And you can take it on a Beauty Blender and add more if you want. Like if you want to go blush, if you want to go ham on the blush, you can definitely go in with it. Just be careful, because some of her shades are really pigmented. They really, like the one I wish that I got, I think it was called Prima Donna, I think is what it was called. That was the one that I wish that I had gotten. But I do like this one. It is really pretty. I mean, have been really enjoying them. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the Chanel. We're gonna go over this with a little bit of the Rouge Frost. I'm gonna take a little bit of this right here above before we do highlight, because this works really good if you're gonna do a highlighter and you wanna just add the highlighter over top of it, because it's got a little bit more of that balmy texture to it. I know there are a lot of people that don't like these. They don't like them at all. They hate them. I love them. I think they're great. I love the way that they look. It's got that really beautiful, radiant, dewy look to it. So now that we're almost done too. Wow, can you believe it? So we're almost done. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the Chanel. We're gonna go back into the Tendresse palette. And I'm gonna take a little bit of my Refer brush in number 18, if I get the number right, 18. And we're gonna dip into the peachy shade, and we're gonna put her right over, we're gonna pack her right over top of that stick. So the stick just kind of sticks. It makes it stick. The stick makes it stick. See how pretty that is, guys? It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful highlight. It does make it going really beautiful. Now, I will say, because I did the stick, it's making it a little bit more dramatic. So it's making it pop out a little bit more. But, you know, I love me some highlight, love me some drama. So I love that. So I don't mind it at all. But it is a really beautiful, soft highlighter. So if you're picking this palette up for a blush or for a face palette, it is really beautiful. I mean, as eyeshadow, it's really pretty too. It's very soft. It's very, I mean, I just don't know if it's worth to tell you guys the $90 price tag. I would have to leave that up to you on what you think. But it's just real, but it is really pretty, and it does blend in with all of it. It works great with powder, without powder. It works great either way. But yeah, and I'm gonna take, let me take a little bit, just a tad bit of this. I'm gonna take a little bit of this burnt color, just to make my cheeks look a little bit more blushy, because you know, I like a little bit of that kind of a burnt look. I like to make sure that we take a little bit of this Chanel highlight right here in the corner. Just a little bit, to make it pop out a little bit. Look, isn't it nice? It's really beautiful. Now let me just spray a little bit more with the Scott Barnes this one. I will tell you guys, this mister is just wonderful. This is a great, it just feels amazing. It feels really good. It is a really good spray. So if you're in the mode for a new setting spray and you want something with a little bit more of a dewier edge to it, it does a really good job. It is really good. If you're wanting a little bit more long wear, I would probably stick with the Charlotte Tilbury or the Dior setting spray, because it's a little bit more long wear. Or if you want a cheaper version, just do the Maybelline Infallible spray, or Maybelline, listen at me, L'Oreal Infallible spray. It just does just as good a job. But look how pretty all of it together. It just blends it all together. It does make it melt. It does look a really pretty sheen on the body too. So if you spray it on the body, it does leave a really pretty sheen too. So yeah, let me just fix my hair back a little bit. And you know what, with that said, guys, that's it. You know, please leave comments down below. Did you like this video? What did you like about it? You know, please let me know. Have you picked up any of these things? Is there anything that you're interested in? You know, let us know down below. You know, comment. Make sure that while you're here that you like and subscribe if you're new. If you didn't like the video, then you know what? I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you just have to kind of, you know, I'll just take the down button and whatever, just go with it. I promise you my life will not be over if that's what happens. I just appreciate you and glad if you stuck around this long. We're glad that you stuck around. You know, just remember also I have links and codes down below. So if you guys are interested, I also have a Venmo, and I also have PayPal and everything. So if you want to help support this channel, you know, you can always help donate. That I have 2 new light sets because of someone that actually helped to donate. I also have a new system. I also have a new thing on my table. So a lot of that goes towards the channel. So anytime you guys help donate or do anything is great. You can also give thanks down below too, little tips here and there that help out a lot. And you know, with that said, guys, that's it. You know, remember, be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself. Remember to tell somebody that you love them today, because especially with the way the world is going, life is way too short. Make sure that you tell someone that you love them today, because it can mean an awful lot. Also, remember to be kind to someone today, because you never know what they're going through. You don't know what's going on in their life. And a little kindness, a little smile, a hug, a handshake, anything could mean a lot to that person. So definitely keep that in mind as well. And, you know, and laugh today. You know, show a little laughter today. Give a little laugh, because laughter also takes you a long way too as well. And with that said, guys, love you, and we will see you again in the next episode. Bye.